So, you know what one of my favorite Bible stories is? That's like a normal Bible story, not one of the weird ones that I like. Yeah, it is the first story that you read today about Peter and a dude named Cornelius in Acts. Yeah. And I like it because it's kind of crazy that Peter was just hanging out and then he hears God say, "Go eat with this guy that nobody likes." I mean, does that sound like high school, right? Like you always have that one kid at that one table that no one likes and wants to eat with, right? Now your high school is a lot nicer than mine. Yeah, or they start acting weird and sit with other friends. Right. Those darn principles making you sit with other people. Yeah. But that's kind of like what it is, right? Like God was basically the principal in this story, and he's like, here's this guy that none of you like, right? Because the disciples and the Roman soldiers, they didn't really get along good because you remember what happened like I don't know, a couple weeks ago, or I guess in the biblical time it would be like a few months ago. Like the Roman soldiers and Jesus and crucified. Yeah. And so it was like God was like, "Hey, I know you don't like this guy, but you know what I'm gonna make you do? I'm gonna make you go sit with him," which is I'm sure Peter wasn't happy, right? It's the same thing when the principal puts people at your table that you don't want to sit with. And then Peter says, "God, I don't want to do this." And you know what God says? Too bad, so sad. There we go. Yeah. That is almost a direct quote of what God said to Peter, which I think is kind of a good reminder because sometimes in life there's people we don't want to hang out with or deal with, right? And God is saying, "No, I'm calling you to be nice to each other and love each other and be kind." And you'll say, "I don't want to be nice to this person, God." And God says, "Too bad, so sad," right? Which I think is kind of fun that God will say that to us because sometimes I feel like we need to hear that. And so I want you to remember that. I mean, school's almost over, but you have a whole month of school left? That's crazy. That is, yeah. Yeah, that is a lot of school left. Back in my day, when you walked to school uphill both ways, you got out like Memorial Day. All right, well, over the next month at school, every time the principal sits someone at your table that you don't want to sit with, just think that God is saying to you, "Too bad, so sad, Kenzie. You got to be nice to this person." All right, so with that, have some candy, and as you head back to your pew, I'll invite everyone to rise as they are able for our gospel acclamation.